I think all of you can feel free to smack me now because of how inconsistent I am. And I need something to really keep me responsible and accountable and very consistent. But it's okay because I come in peace. It's a very special week, not just for me personally, but because Thought World just turned one this week. So I am immensely happy. And along with that, I also turned a year older. For context, for those who don't know about this, I started Thought World on my birthday last year. So both of us have grown a lot in these many months. But before I jump into the episode part of this video, I think I'll actually start off by talking a little about this 1 year with Thought World and my journey in these last few months because it started from a very random moment of realization. And that moment occurred many years ago. Actually, it was right in the middle of the first lockdown during COVID. And I remember that, all of us were in our homes away from how our lives used to be. And I just realized that everyone around me had so much to look back at, in a sense that they had so many tangible recorded memories of how their life was up to that point till the lockdown happened. So everyone was putting all of these throwback posts and sharing random pictures from their past years, especially during their college years. So that gave me major FOMO because, for better or for worse, I've always been a person who's very live in the moment. And in that process, it gets to a point that I actually forget to document that moment or, have a tangible record of that experience. And that really sucks because, not to toot my own horn, I actually do a lot of cool shit in my life because I have so many interests and I feel like I'm a person who can never get bored. For real, like I have so many things lined up. I think I need more time in a day if I really want to cover each and every single one of them. But that live in the moment wala mentality really left me at a loss because I had nothing to look back at. Of course, I had these memories, but memories fade over time, right? You just carry that feeling that, okay, you felt XYZ way at a certain point in your life. But I think the large part of remembering that experience, like the larger part of remembering that experience is just wiped off with time. And taking that realization wala moment as a lesson, I decided to turn my life around. Even if people are cribbing, even if they're yelling at me, cussing at me that, bro, why the fuck do you have to whip out your camera while we're doing anything? And I know I'm probably making it way deeper than it is, but that's just who I am. Sometimes I read too much into situations, but it almost always leads to some really nice discoveries, life-changing discoveries in this case. So that is how Thought World came into existence because I wanted to talk about my life, which is something that I enjoy probably the most. And I think the only reason behind that was that A, it's free, and B, because I can. But one of the biggest reasons why I'm so consumed by this idea of turning 24 and why it is such a big deal, it's because, we have these ages in our mind that, okay, like, by this age or by this stage in life, I want to be at a certain place. I want to have done certain things. So, you lay out these 2 year, 5 year plans, 10 year plans. So I think this age of like 24, 25 is such a crucial checkpoint, or at least you think that it's really important, because you have this whole map of how your life should have turned out. But when you look back, you're like, okay, this is not what I had planned at all. And if I talk about myself, I've always kind of gone with the flow. But surprisingly, even when I'm taking those turns with the flow, I made up a plan along the way. But this past year is probably the first time that I was left without a plan. I was left completely stranded. I finished my master's around this time, exactly last year. And my life is nowhere close to the way that I thought it would be. And if I'm being honest, I have to admit that my quarter life crisis came a couple years early, because to have a crisis, you need to actually have achieved something. But I haven't actually achieved a lot of those things that I had set out to finish or fulfill by the age of 24 or 25. But I think I'm kind of okay with the idea that I went with the flow and kind of made a plan along the way. Because, now that I look back, I don't think I would have even liked it that way. Like, it's okay that things didn't go according to plan, because first of all, that plan was shitty to begin with. Because I was making plans for a 24-year-old, 25-year-old me based on what I knew when I was 18 years old. So about 5 to 6 years back, when I was making that plan for myself, I didn't know shit. I was right out of school. I had just joined college and had a very fanciful perception of this world. And zero experience to back it up with, by the way. Like, all of these really mighty plans and really mighty ideas, but not enough effort or not enough experience to back that up with. So that's what kind of led me to where I am right now. And okay, it might not be what I expected, but it sure is not bad. I have to admit that. Like, it's not bad, even though it's not what I thought it would be. I think sometimes this meandering of your life path can be quite a tough pill to swallow, and some people really spiral out of control, and I've personally seen that happen. It has happened to me also a few times, when their life goes off track and when something happens that they weren't really prepared for. And that just makes me think that just because it turned out differently than how I thought it would, it doesn't mean that it's a failure. It doesn't mean that I am a failure or my life in any way is a failure. Just because some things didn't go according to my plan, a plan that I made, I don't know how many years ago, as a mindless teenager. And what knowledge do you have about life and how it works as a teenager? In fact, what knowledge do I have about life and how it works as a person who's just turned 24? I don't think I can answer that even 5-6 years later. I'm probably just as clueless, with probably a little more experience. That's about it. I think that's the only way I would like to put it. So I think now would be a good point to share some of the things that I learned over these last few years, particularly over this past 1 year, because 23 has been probably the most challenging year for me in every which way. When it comes to my self-image, my career, my friendships, my relationships, my family, my social life. I think everything has been run through the mud over these last few months, and every single experience has left me with probably one or many crucial lessons. I just want to share a few of them. So I think the first thing that is probably the most important to me as a lesson going forward is that the beauty of your life, especially your life in your younger years, is the ability to follow your curiosity. And I said younger years because this is the time where we have better health. This is the time where we have, a stronger drive to sort of go after things, and just more time and less responsibilities. So even if something feels silly, even if something feels far-fetched, this is probably the time where you can experiment with it, where you can go after it, where you can take a risk and also have the time to, you know, ride the consequences if it doesn't go well. So I think that's such a wonderful aspect of life, that even if things are not going your way, you can always find a new one. And I think all of us have very specific driving factors. I think all of us have very specific things that motivate us, things that we want from life. And I think if we keep going after those things, we will never hit a dead end. We might be in a rocky path for some part of it, but that doesn't mean that it's the end. I don't think we're ever going to be in a dead end if we just keep following our curiosity and basically just going after what feels right. I think the second most important takeaway from this past year would be that being stuck is not as bad as it's advertised. Wait, hear me out. I know it can be quite anxiety inducing, not knowing what to do next or where to go next, especially when your life goes off the rails. But I saw this one really nice video, and that reminded me of the fact that, okay, so on one end, there is knowing what you want, and on the other end, there is actually going after that thing. And the part between it is the part where you're stuck. And being stuck is what actually helps you get to a point where you can be unstuck. Does that make sense? The point is that I know uncertainty can be quite difficult. It can be quite challenging to deal with. But the point is that your anxiety lies to you all the fucking time. So as long as you just keep going with it and finding things along the way that help you snap out of it, I think you will always find that way out of being stuck. And to find your way out of something, you actually need to be stuck first. So I think it's not as bad as it's advertised. And on a slightly different note, I just turned 24. I don't think my brain is even fully developed to be making life-changing decisions. So, forget being 18 or 17 and deciding a career path for yourself. I don't think I can even do that at 24. I'm sorry, my brain is not developed yet. I can't make permanent decisions in my life yet. I don't think I'm capable of doing that. I might be intelligent, but my brain sure as hell needs a lot of time to get to a point where it can be fully satisfied with the decisions that it's making. The third point is actually quite close to my heart because this is a challenge that I've faced at different points in my career, especially in my career, because every single decision that I've made in terms of my academic life, in terms of work, all of it has come from me. So I can't even turn around and blame my parents that, oh, you made me do this, so now I'm feeling stuck, or like, oh, I'm unhappy because you made me choose this path. I don't think I can blame that on anyone because I have made every single decision in that aspect of my life. And I've been rather jealous, not jealous, but like, maybe a little jealous of the people who have their whole life sorted for them. Some people just are really lucky that way. And truthfully, it rarely has much to do with the amount of effort that they put in or the amount of skill or talent that they have. And again, not to toot my own horn, I always feel like if I had been given those opportunities, I feel like, I would have been at their position, or I would have just been farther in my life if just some things were different, or like some things had panned out differently, or some opportunities were given to me that I never got. But again, when you are in that place where you're comparing your success or your progress based on someone else's barometer or based on someone else's life, I think that you are being very unfair to yourself. And I think a lot of us do that. We end up comparing ourselves with people who have not been in our position ever. I'm not saying that those people don't have their own struggles, and I have a lot of people in my life who just choose to take the easy path. Like, let's say, for example, if they have a safety net in the form of a family business, instead of following something that they really want to do, they would probably dump their ambition and go after something that's safe. And don't get me wrong, I have complete respect for people who do that, because why should you risk it unnecessarily? So I get it. I get why some people would want to do that. And I'm not against that. I would have probably done the same thing if I was in their place. But the thing is, even as a child, I've always felt like I'm meant to do something great. I'm meant to do something really big, something that creates a lot of impact. So if you want to be different than others, then you also have to do things differently than the way they do things. You can't be living life the same way that they do and expect different results. I'm meant for something bigger. So my path is going to be more difficult. And because I'm going through all of these phases, and because I'm jumping through all of these hoops, I just remind myself that my efforts are going to be compounded over time. The fourth point on my list of life lessons, I think for this, the credit should really go to my parents, because this is something that I've learned from them, because they have also not been the luckiest when it comes to receiving their work's due. They've been really hardworking their entire lives, but even today, I feel like they haven't gotten enough results, what they deserve, and in proportion to how much effort that they've put in. And I think luck also plays a huge factor. And the only people who deny that luck exists are the people who are actually blessed with good luck. So don't come at me with that, कि oh, luck जैसा कुछ नहीं होता है. बिल्कुल होता है. You're probably lucky. That's why you don't recognize it. But it's okay. I will not hold it against you. Coming back to my point, they've always made me realize and, reminded me of the fact that you can't be living life from one goal to another. You can't reduce your life to these certain just checkpoints that you have, that you create for yourself. Of course, it's good to have goals. It's good to set ambition for yourself. But, there's no ultimate destination in life. There is no destination. You reach a point, you finish a goal, and you feel like, okay, after this, I'll be done. But beyond that, there are 10 other things lined up. You finish your education, there's your career lined up. You reach a certain place in your career, then you have your family life lined up. You finish certain milestones there, then there are 10 other things lined up. Uske aage. So there is no final destination, I think, other than death probably, which is the common ending point for everyone. But other than that, it's all about the journey. I think you won't be happy as a person simply because of where you are in life. You will be happy in life because of who you are as a person. You will be happy because of how you choose to see things. So it's rarely about where you are or how much you have in life, or, what kind of lifestyle you have. at the end of the day, it's all about being in a happy state of mind. And that just comes from who you are as a person. That will never be dependent, or at least it ideally shouldn't be dependent on where you are or what kind of car you drive, what phone you have, what brand your clothes are. Like it's so inconsequential. Like it doesn't matter. And I think I can't find a better ending note than what Arjun said in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara.
Actually, it's quite simple, yeah.
वो क्या?
बस सांस लेते रहो.